64. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. My name is Vivian Oguche, and it's such a pleasure to have you join us. Us because it's a whole team working together to ensure that this goes flawlessly. If this is your first time, accept a very warm welcome from us. So this is where we're going to tell you all things trending and all things topical. And chief among them today is hashtag Nigeria Decides 2027. So, of course, Inec has set the timetable. We know how it's going to go down come 2027, February, March for the general elections, talking about the presidential, the National Assembly, the gubernatorial, as well as the state assemblies. But this is what is playing out on X right now. Electorates are saying Inec must review the schedule because these elections fall during the Ramadan period, the holy period. So it's what netizens are saying. I'm not going to talk too much here. You see for yourself, right? So it is hashtag Nigeria Decides 2027. Let's take a look at the first post. So you have a feel of it. Yeah. So this is Inec itself on X. Inec Nigeria says 2027 polls. Inec fixes 20th February for presidential and National Assembly elections. 6th March for governorship and state assembly elections. Hashtag Nigeria Decides 2027. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amukpito, has formally released the notice of election and the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2027 general elections, setting February 20, 2027 as the date for the presidential and National Assembly polls. Addressing members of the press in Abuja, the INEC chairman described the announcement as a significant milestone in our democratic journey and a constitutional obligation aimed at consolidating Nigeria's democracy. Let's take a look at the next page of this post. So INEC goes on to say, according to the commission, Presidential and National Assembly elections, February 20, 2027. Governorship and State Houses of Assembly elections, March 6, 2027. The elections will cover the offices of President and Vice President in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, governors and deputy governors, except in Anambra, Bayelsa, Edo, Ekiti, Imo, Kogi, Ondo, and Osun states. And that's because of the staggered elections Nigeria, currently practices. Continues to say members of the Senate, members of the House of Representatives, members of the State Houses of Assembly, and then Professor Amupito emphasized that the release of the notice complies strictly with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and Section 28, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates publication not later than 360 days before the election date. Now, how are netizens responding? I just gave you a sneak peek, but let's take a look for ourselves now. Let's take a look at how netizens are responding to this particular hashtag. The first one is Bashir Ahmed OON. Bashir Ahmed OON is leading the charge, and he says, "Dear at Inec Nigeria, this is a respective observation following the announcement of February 20th and March 6th, 2027, as the date for the next presidential and National Assembly and Governorship and State Assembly elections, respectively. The proposed dates fall within the holy months of Ramadan, a period during which many Muslims devote significant time to fasting, prayer, and spiritual reflection. If the intention is to encourage full and inclusive participation in the electoral process, scheduling such a critical national exercise during Ramadan may present challenges for a large segment of the population. Many Muslims tend to reduce engagement in demanding worldly activities during this period in order to focus on religious obligations. Given the significant Muslim population in this country, it may be worthwhile to reconsider the timing to ensure broader participation and convenience for all citizens." There's a concluding part of this post. Let's take a look at it. And then he says, "I do hope this observation will be taken in the spirit of inclusiveness and national cohesion. Thank you, Bashir Ahmed OON." Sounds very civil, yeah? But I Occupy Nigeria is next, and it sounds a little bit harsh, if you will. But let's take a look at the next post. So I Occupy Nigeria says, "How you go fix presidential polls during Ramadan so northern voters no go stay at home, and Tinubu with him soon-to-be announced Christian running mate go magically win the north? Joash," he calls him by his first name, "we sabi say send for North and Muslims, but at least try to pretend small." This is coming from I Occupy Nigeria. Jen Slow says, "Inec, take note, no transmission glitch allowed." Remember what happened in the last general election cycle? Lots of glitches. It's what Jen Slow is referring to. But more reactions. Let's take a look at the next one. So this is Olasukomi, who says this will fall during the Muslim fasting next year and may cause too much of excessive burnout to voters who want a credible election and stays for the final counts and being transmitted. I guess INEC officials should review this. Or I think it's referring to those who want to stay back to ensure that their votes count by ensuring that whoever is at the polling booths, will count their votes in their presence. I think that's what Sukomi is talking about. But he's warning against burnout. More reactions. And let me just let you know that it is following the same trajectory. It's all about, a large section of the country, being cut off this very important exercise. But let's go back to X now. So you see how netizens are reacting. This is Afola BBO, who says, "This is not well conceived. I think that period falls within the holy months of Ramadan, when the Muslim faithfuls engaged in pious religious activities." More reactions. So this is Bashir Usman FCA, who says, "Very valid point, Honorable Bash. I join you in respectfully calling for a reconsideration of the proposed dates for our general elections in the overall interest of all Nigerians. Scheduling the elections during a period that coincides with Ramadan places significant physical and logistical demands on many ad hoc staff and security personnel, including those from the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, who will be fasting while also undertaking strenuous national duties. These responsibilities often require long hours, overnight stays at collation centers, and high levels of alertness under challenging conditions. A slight adjustment of the timetable would demonstrate sensitivity to religious observances while also helping to ensure optimal performance, inclusiveness, and the smooth conduct of the electoral process. Our democracy is strengthened when participation is made easier for every citizen and official involved. More reactions? So Honorable Aminu AK says, scheduling the election on February 20, 2027 in the middle of Ramadan will be difficult for Muslims. We will not accept it. Sir Sabgar says, we respectfully call on the Independent National Electoral Commission and its chairman, Professor Amupichon, to kindly reconsider the scheduled dates for the 2027 general elections as they fall within the sacred months of Ramadan. Abiola says, you have a lot of work to do as an institution. Good luck. I think they need it. Samuel says, we finally have election dates. Meanwhile, credibility still processing. As for Samuel, it's not about the date now. It's about credibility. But that's how we wrap up that particular hashtag. We'll keep our fingers crossed to see if the electoral umpire, Inec, is going to consider, these concerns. Because you see, this is happening real time. All of these reactions it's just there for Inec to see because they're reacting to the posts they put up. So if there's any development in this regard, we'll keep you posted. Still electoral matters. Let's talk AMAC now, right? Talking about the municipal elections that is going to happen this month in Abuja. It's the 21st, right? Yes, talking about the local government elections. In case you're confused when I say municipal. Now, AMAC is trending because of Dr. Paul Moses, who is an ADC chieftain, and he's drawing a lot of bigwigs to the federal capital and to the grassroots to help him campaign because he's an AMAC chairmanship candidate. So what is AMAC? Let's take a look at the first post, right? This promises to be interesting. So the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, is a major local government authority in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, managing the administrative, political, and commercial heart of Abuja. Covering areas like Garki, Gwarimpa, it holds a population of over 1.96 million people. It's huge. It is currently a focal point for 2026 local elections, with candidates focusing on infrastructure development and improved service delivery. Details about AMAC. Administration, it operates under the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. Location, home to key sites like the Zuma Rock, the National Mosque, and Jabi Lake. Those are beautiful landmarks, if you ask me. So we go to X now, so we see the very first post put up by the former Vice President, ADC chieftain, Atiku Abubakar. He says, this was yesterday night. Yesterday, I think. Our campaign train for Dr. Moses Paul moved through several areas today, including Area 1 in Garki and Zone 4. The energy at the Garki Area 1 shopping complex, Zone 4 Plaza, and other locations we visited was amazing. It is clear that businesses are struggling and many business owners are desperate for real relief and a better future. I urged voters to stay strong, ignore all forms of intimidation, and come out to vote for the ADC so we can begin the real change they have been hoping for. Today also marks the official start of the ADC mass membership registration. I used the opportunity to invite citizens to join our party and encouraged everyone to register and collect their PVCs. AA, Atiku Abubakar, he put up this video. Take a look. Guys, did you, okay, so that's the former Vice President Atiku himself talking. And of course, that the AMAC chairmanship candidate, Dr. Moses, with his signature face cap standing beside him. But did you catch former Osun State Governor Rauf Reschedule, you know, in the thick of it all? So it looks like they're out en masse. Now, in a short while, you're going to be seeing how netizens are saying Peter Obi is the one who led the way, because we saw him last week, you know, doing a huge campaigning. Would you call it a rally? No, he was campaigning actually for the same Dr. Moses. So netizens are reacting to this post and the video that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar put up. Let's take a look at the reactions, shall we? So Senator Idris Haruna says it's inspiring to see this level of grassroots engagement. Dr. Moses Paul's campaign is clearly connecting with the people who matter most. Everyday business owners and citizens who are feeling the pinch and yearning for real change. Highlighting their struggles shows empathy and a commitment to addressing real issues, not just political slogans. Encouraging voters to stay strong, participate, and get their PVC is exactly what democracy needs. Active, informed citizens ready to shape their future. ADC focusing on mobilizing communities and listening to their needs is a positive step toward meaningful change. The next one. So this is Toba Truth, who says, sir, this is a commendable effort. One more thing to do is to allow Peter Obi to ride on the ADC train for 2027. Next one. So this is Nuruddin Mahe, who says, this is indeed commendable and inspiring to see. H.A. Atiku participating at the campaign of Area Council Chairmanship candidate Dr. Mo Paul. I wish our party, the ADC, success in the FCT Area Council elections. Dr. Paul, I wish our party, the ADC, success in these Area Council elections of the FCT. The next one. So this is Dr. Dalhat, who says today, keep in mind, this was yesterday, but still trending, you know, up till today. Says it wasn't just a rally, it was a real grassroots mobilization. Atiku Abubakar walked through Area 1, Zone 4, Wasa, and Garki, connecting directly with traders, businesses, and residents in Hausa, Igbo, English, and Fulfulde. Proud to have been part of the campaign, the momentum is real, and the grassroots are ready. The next one. So this is ADC Vanguard, who put up this one. Says His Excellency Rotimi Amechi stormed Nyanya Market for the ADC AMA campaign, and this happened today. So Amechi too has jumped into the fray, and ADC Vanguard put up this video. Credit goes to them. Take a look, guys. Yeah. All right, so this one is a little bit short, but let's take a look at the reactions now, because there are a lot of them, and they are basically what netizens are saying is this is hugely inspired by Peter Obi, but they're liking it, right? So we'll take a look at the responses now to hashtag AMAC. So Toba Truth again says, Nigeria will be great again. Peter Obi has taught the most important lesson. Go to the people and speak with them. See how Amechi, they shake hand with the Nigerians or with Nigerians, and then he's laughing. A.A. Alhaji of Nupe Land says, we are waiting for them to canvass for the ADC candidate in Buhari local government. Or Abuja ended in AMAC. No, Abuja didn't end in AMAC. And then Dubem says, ADC is really trying. They should resist APC from rigging. Let's go to the next one. So this is Expresso, who says, this is what I mean by leadership being the problem and not followership. Today, presidential candidates are doing grassroots campaign for local council elections because one man did it. Stay there and be thinking leadership doesn't matter. More reactions? So this is Sweetman 911, who says Obi is showing them how it is done. There's another one. Now, this is Knight, who says Tinubu go enter one market. during campaign season. Peter Obi Doncaster update. So is this the same trajectory? You know, I think we have one more before we go on to the next hashtag. Let's take a look at that one. All right, okay, I understand this is the last one. But this is sort of preparing us for the next hashtag, which is an update to what happened yesterday. Remember how former FCT minister, former Kaduna State Governor Nass El-Rufai was crying wolf yesterday because he said security operatives attempted to arrest him at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport just on arrival from Cairo. Cairo, that would be Egypt. But he resisted, the arrest. He said, if you want to arrest me, do it, make it formal, send a letter. And shortly afterwards, he put up a post on X. His lawyers did the same as well. So there's been so much solidarity, should I say that now, from his colleagues and his brothers and his fellow politicians. This time, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar visited him yesterday night, right? And so it's trending. It's still trending today. The Leadership newspaper has that post. Atiku Abubakar also put up a post. So we'll take a look at what Leadership has to say before we take a look at the post the former Vice President put up. Leadership says, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on Thursday night paid a solidarity visit to his political ally and former Kaduna State Governor Nass El-Rufai, following an attempt by security operatives to arrest the ex-governor at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja earlier in the day. Atiku shared videos and photos of the visit on X on Friday morning, describing the incident as a failed partisan attempt by the DSS and and EFCC to embarrass the former governor. Let's take a look at the post Atiku himself put up. So Atiku says, last night, he put up this post today, and this video, of course, he attached it. He says, last night, I paid a solidarity visit to the former governor of Kaduna State and stalwart of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Madam Nass El-Rufai, following the failed attempt by the partisan ICPC to arrest him at the airport upon his arrival in the country. Take note, this is Atiku Abubakar speaking. He put up this video. Take a look.
Excellency, my brother, you are welcome. And I hope, in spite of what has happened at the airport, you will join members of your family to have, a very peaceful reunion. But let me also use this opportunity to strongly condemn what has happened today at the airport. There is absolutely no reason for authorities to try and embarrass you at the airport. Not only you, embarrass all Nigerians, because this is a democratic society. This is a society based on rule of law. There was absolutely no need for you to be or try to be kidnapped, I will say, from the airport. I mean, they could allow you to return to your house and then invite you normally. You have held very, very high positions in government in this country. You are a minister, you are a governor, and you successfully perform your functions. There was no need for them to try to embarrass you. By embarrassing you, they are entirely embarrassing the entire political class. And we condemn it. And we condemn it in totality. And we will stand by you, and we will protect, your interests and the interests of every law-abiding Nigerian, particularly the ADC. Just as they undermine and sabotage the PDP, there are also efforts and plans to undermine the ADC by using the judiciary again. We must be alert, and we must stand up against that plans to undermine the opposition. This is a very, very credible information. So we should all be at alert and make sure that the judiciary is not used to undermine the ADC.
Coming to my house for the second time in less than 6 months to commiserate with me over citing incidents. the latest one being the fracas at the airport today. Your Excellency, you have always shown concern for my personal welfare and that of our friends and associates. And this visit further reinforces that concern that you've consistently shown, for which I will be eternally grateful. Your Excellency, what happened at the airport today, as you correctly observed, was most unfortunate, totally unnecessary, and probably criminal as well, because agencies have rules of engagement, and all I asked for, give me a letter of invitation, and I will visit your office. But it turned out that it was the ICPC that procured the DSS to abduct me and hand me over to them. The ICPC has never contacted me or sought to invite me up to the point we were at the airport. The EFCC had written inviting me, and I was out of the country. My lawyer wrote to them to say that I will be returning and I will be there on Monday at 10 a.m. But the ICPC, we've never had anything from them. But we understand that it was the ICPC, not the EFCC, that was responsible for what happened. And the ICPC chairman was acting on the direct orders of Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor. We have reduced security agencies to be arms of a political party and a government that knows it is unelectable and wants to remain in power at all costs. And Your Excellency, I assure you.
So, for the first time, we have clarity. That is the protagonist himself, the one in the center of this whole plot, talking about Malam Nasir El-Rufai himself, saying that contrary to opinion, public opinion, that it wasn't the EFCC that attempted to arrest him, but that it was the ICPC, that it was actually the ICPC in cahoots with the DSS. And then he said something again, that the ICPC was acting directly under the authority or instructions of the NSC, and he named him Nuhu Ribadu. So it's a lot right now. He said prior to this, the FCC had written him, his lawyers responded because he was outside the country, and that he made plans to visit the EFCC on Monday after his return to the country. So apparently he's going to visit the EFCC on Monday. We'll see how that one pans out. But netizens are reacting to, this video that the former vice president put up. Shall we take a look? Let's do it. This is A.D. Zachary Esquire, who says, what if ICPC is not partisan? They're responding to what the former vice president said. And then A.D. goes on to say, what if he has the case to answer? I think the ICPC deserves all the support it can get to carry out its legal mandate. Akogun says, why is every arrest attempt labeled partisan? If there are questions to be answered, shouldn't the law take its course regardless of political stalwart status? Let the system work. If he's innocent, the court will say so. More reactions. So this is Space Ambassador, who says, this is deeply troubling. When anti-corruption institutions are perceived as tools for political intimidation, public trust is eroded and democracy suffers. Standing in solidarity with Atiku and El-Rufai is a reminder that due process and the rule of law must always prevail over partisanship. Institutions like the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, that will be the ICPC, must remain impartial to retain credibility. As a loyalist of His Excellency at Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia movement, I believe justice, fairness, and democracy must be defended no matter who is affected. Now, can we take a pause? We'll continue to take a look at more reactions. But you see, he mentioned Kwankwaso. It was a couple of days when the bombshell dropped that the U.S. was designating Kwankwaso as someone who had ties with terrorism, and that he was going to be sanctioned alongside the Mieti Allah group. Now, his immediate constituency have come out to deny that allegation, and they are demanding that the U.S. take the list of the name of Kwankwaso off that list of individuals to be sanctioned and all of that. And I guess it's why that netizen mentioned all of that. But let's take a look at a couple of more reactions under this hashtag #LRFI. This is Honorable Nuhu Sada, who says, Nigeria, a moment that could shape 2027. That's a Nigerian flag there, so I just called it Nigeria. A moment that could shape 2027. One of these two men will lead Nigeria in 2027. Today's historic photo of Atiku Abubakar and Nasir El-Rufai marks a defining moment where ambition, experience, and the future of Nigeria converge. But hey, let's also talk about that a little bit. Now, Atiku Abubakar and El-Rufai go back. They go way back. Once upon a time, it used to be they were like 5 and 6, but it looked like the Romans went sour, and then they are back again, and they are collaborators. So hey, this is not new. But then he said something, Jermaine, that hey, the fight is on, which takes us to the next post and to the next video you're going to be taking a look at. Because after this whole thing played out, El-Rufai today received a heroic welcome from his constituency. It was a rambunctious crowd, if you pardon my grammar. But there's a post that's going to lead us to that particular video. Let's take a look at it, a couple of them actually. So this is the Elite Journal. Says Malam Nasir El-Rufai after Jumat prayer in Kaduna today. This actually happened today, but Chooks picked up this post from Elite Journal, and lots of people jumped upon that. So let's take a look at the post that Chooks put up regarding this particular one. So Chooks says, former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai seen after Jumat prayer in Kaduna State today. Credit goes to the Nigerian elite. I guess I got the name right. Take a look, guys, for the video. So, I mean, see for yourself, it's a mammoth crowd, if you ask me. A number of reactions to this one. Netizens have a thing or two to say. Let's quickly take a look at their reactions before we jump to the next hashtag, which is something that has been brewing for days now. Let's take a look at how netizens are responding. A. Adebanji says, to those who are politically blind, they will say El-Rufai is loved and that he owns the key to the Kaduna elections. Let the unnecessary deception continue. He will even struggle to win his own polling unit. Toba Truth says the massive, unscripted turnout of ordinary Kagoro people welcoming Malam Nasir El-Rufai for Jumat today stands as undeniable evidence that his grassroots support in southern Kaduna remains deep, authentic, and far stronger than any Abuja headline or political rival would like to admit. ADC is coming. Chief and Queen says 2027, everybody go flex their power and test their base. And that's how we wrap up that particular hashtag El-Rufai. We'll move on now to the next one, which is hashtag Isaac Fayoshe. So Isaac Fayoshe is always in the news, but a couple of days he was in the news because he was at an event and he told the audience how he was married to an Igbo lady. He proudly said he was a polygamist, that his first wife is a foreigner, but his second wife is from the Southeast, and so his children are Igbos. But so he said he wanted to lay the foundation for the harsh criticism he was going to make. He said the Igbos were not united and they didn't support their own. And it's why Nnamdi Kanu is still languishing in jail and why Sunday Igboho is at home. And then he was now saying it is why a number of Southeastern billionaires were supporting the incumbent government and not supporting their own. He now told Nigerians how rich he was. And so many Nigerians started picking up. They were like, you are that rich? They started picking bones with that statement he said. They started asking him, okay, tell us the source of your wealth. So today he did. That video is trending, got hundreds of views. So we'll take a look at the first post and the first video. Instablog Niger has it. Let's take a look at the first post by Instablog Niger. It says, I made my first £1 million from Obasanjo's government using dogs. Dogs gave me about £4 million in Nigeria. Isaac Fayoshe shares. Now, take a look at that screenshot. Isaac, this is from Naira Diary, or Naira Diary, yeah, Naira Diary. Isaac Fayoshe reveals how he built his net worth to £11 million, including £4 million dog transaction under Obasanjo government. Take a listen, guys.
First £1 million from Obasanjo government using dogs. So dogs gave me about £4 million in Nigeria. How? I came, we have a lot of wolf rats at the port. I said, no, I can't eradicate wolf rats. They said it's impossible. I said, don't worry. You have about 1,600 cats. Just give me 300 and give me 300 dogs. So when the sheep, when they enter our key apron, I line up Rottweiler, bow and arrow. I was able to eradicate wolf rats in our port today before I handed over the ports to all the concessionaires. So I've been making money. My second million in Nigeria, MTN. I used to take care of all their, any base station you see, the guards you see there, they are Anis guards. So do you want me to start counting? I have a farm. When I moved back to Nigeria 2002, I went to a place called IITA. They have mahogany or more tree. They take 15 years to grow. I was buying nursery at the time for 1,500. I bought 2,980 nursery. I sell one timber now for 400,000 times my money. And see, and my wealth is inside the bush. So take everything they give me now. Take it. I will still make it back. Just give me my Bible.
So he's answering those who asked. Let's know the source of your wealth. It was still at the same event, I can see, because we're on the same shirt. I can see the same audience and all. But netizens are reacting, and it's a mix of sarcasm and admiration and criticism, if you can even understand that. So why don't you take a look for yourself? Let's see how netizens are responding to this revelation now. Isaac Fayoshe, younger brother to former Ekiti Governor Ayo Fayoshe. So this is Babajide Akran, who says, Chai, dogs were really printing money back then under Obasanjo. But right now, with how Nigeria is suffering, economy, insecurity, everything, nobody did even get strength to start any serious business again. God help us all. Amen. The next one, Oluwaseun says, congratulations to him. You can't make money in anything, actually, right? If you identify a problem, then don't stop there. Build solutions around it. This is Amadioha. Wow, Amadioha. Amadioha says, you see the favoritism we talk about, nearness to power. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is not what we see on air. This is Ed Jacobs, who says, under President Obasanjo, about $16 billion was allegedly poured into the power sector, yet the country remained in darkness. Nothing changed, no accountability, no results. So when a man proudly claimed, quote, I made my first £1 million from the Obasanjo government using dogs, end of quote, and that dogs gave him about £4 million in Nigeria, it only reinforces the pattern Nigerians already know too well. The same ecosystem of questionable transactions, insider access, and unexplained wealth. Let's take a look at the next page. Okay, so this is Johnson, who says, I remember vividly when my mom told my dad about mahogany business. Aha, so Johnson is not walking down memory lane with a tinge of regret. But this is Eze Majesty, who says £1 million that year is between 150 to 165 million naira. And then this is Kuka 65691, who says, I made my first £1 million from Sani Abacha's government using mosquitoes. That is sarcasm, I can tell you. But there are more reactions. Let's take a look at them. So this is King Johnsby, who says, maybe not to go make my first $5 million from this Tinubu regime by training cockroach. And then Toyib Suleiman says, safe to say, Cubana Chief Priest and Obi Cubana are also aligning to work for Tinubu government so they can make some money too. You're simply criticizing the system you benefited from. It's all the same thing, rinse and repeat. At this point, I don't even blame anybody. Yeah, I think that wraps it up, right? So Toyib is saying, look, leave these people alone, maybe what they're doing, because he was talking about the Southeastern businessmen that were aligning with President Tinubu's government, like I said earlier on. He was saying, leave them alone. You did the same. Now, in case you were wondering about his soundbite using dogs to kill rats, he was talking about the wharf, talking about the ports and how it was infested with rats and how he used dogs to make the rats disappear and said that's how he made his money. So that is that. We put that gist to bed now. If there is any update, I'll keep you posted. So you remember how YouTube influencer, global actually, he's big. Aisha Speed came to Nigeria. That was last month, yeah? It wasn't just Nigeria. It was an African tour and all. And after he left Nigeria, there were talks that Nigeria didn't really do well when it comes to ranking, particularly this African tour, compared to other countries like Ghana and all the rest, and how they showcased their heritage. But one particular man seemed to have stood out. It was the bodybuilder guy that I chose Speed called the angriest man in Nigeria. It looks like the angriest man in Nigeria is going to be relocating to the US because I chose Speed put a call to him today, and it was recorded. He asked him, can you come to the US tomorrow? I want you to come over and train my brother who is too big, too fat. I want him to be fit. So let me take you to X now. It is Asho Speed himself who put up this post and the video. And of course, Nigerians are reacting to that. Let's take a look at the very first post that Asho Speed put up. Shall we do it? Yeah, thank you. Speedy HQ says, Speedy is flying out the angriest man from Nigeria to the USA to help his brother Jamal lose weight. Take a listen, guys.
Listen, if you train my brother, no, look.
Oh, whoa. How did you turn on me?
My brother is fat as hell.
Jamal!
Yes, Jamal. Listen.
How did you get turned on me?
If you train my brother.
Wait, time out. How did you get turned on me, though?
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you train my brother to lose weight, because you do fitness, right? Your name is, look, what's your name? Your name Jack Manuel Fitness. You do fitness on your channel. You do fitness. You a fitness guy.
Yes, I do.
So look, I give you a job to train my brother to lose weight.
But that's not.
If I bring you to a shut. Listen, if I bring you to a
Your brother of paper. Your brother of paper. Your brother of paper. No paper. No paper. No paper. Jamal of paper. No paper. Can't you see?
I don't want
Can't
to. How did you
you
turn
see?
on me, though? That's not.
Hey.
He can't see you, though.
Hey, listen, I will actually fly his ass out. You think I'm playing?
What, though?
Hey.
Wait, come on. Wait.
You think I can't fly his ass
Whoa,
out?
I know you can.
You think I can't fly him out here?
He wants to see you.
No.
He don't want to know, bro. That's not no.
I know. Wait,
How
no.
is that fair?
Wait, listen. He wants to come to America. But I'm like, okay, why would he come to America, right? Oh, wait, let me look to my left. I got my brother here. He can train you, bro.
You already got a trainer, man.
Who your trainer?
McDonald's, exactly. They teach you how to lift a burger up.
This nigga said McDonald's. You know what? Hey, you know what? Hey, can't you see? You know what, bro? You know what? Hey, you got a visa or no?
I'm gonna do what?
Can you come to America?
Yes.
Okay. He said yes.
That's not fair, though.
Okay, listen. You know what? I will have my team. Look, chat, do I do it or no? I can have my team get on this right now. Right now, chat. Do y'all want him in America to train my brother?
Oh, but
I swear to God, chat, I can make this happen. Do y'all actually want it?
bro. I'll go back home. I'll go back home. I don't care, bro. I'm gonna go back home, bro.
Chat, you actually want it. Okay. Hey, brother. Okay. Oh, they say yes.
Fair.
They say yes.
How is that fair?
Okay. All right. Look, bro. My whole chat saying yes. My whole chat saying. Hey, look. No, seriously though. On a real note, I'm about to have my team contact you. Can you leave like tomorrow? Can you leave tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
I can leave, yes. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Not even
All right, now look. No. That ass though, I'm about to have my team contact you. And you're gonna be here like in the next 2 days, all right? All right. Bet. So look, you gonna come to America. Do you understand what I'm saying? You gonna come to America.
Yeah, I want to come. Can't you? I'm not here, can't you see? I want to come.
Okay.
That is my power.
Okay.
Can't you see?
Yeah.
Can't you see?
I can see. Yes. Okay. All right. Now look, but on one circumstance, brother, on one circumstance.
Miracle, I can't tell you that. Netizens are responding. Let's quickly take a look at the reactions because there's something that's happening with Victor Osimhen I'd like for us to take a look at. But first, we'll take a look at the reactions. This is Khalif Awal who says, the U.S. embassy is not going to grant him a visa. I highly doubt it. Why, Khalif Awal? Why? But Sizzle says, I love when somebody's file gets to the front of God's table in heaven. I really want to see too much power win in life. Even me, Seth, I could draw up fitness plan and DM to Bros. He can never fumble this bag in Jesus' name. Amen. More reactions? So this is Tobechuku who says, unfortunately, my strength is my power, doesn't have a U.S. visa. And I hope he even has a valid passport. Otherwise, this golden once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is gone. This is a typical example of preparedness meeting opportunity. Wishing him all the best. Yep. This is Scorpion who says, moral of the story, Speed is the sports movement and fitness enthusiast. That's what interests him most because it challenges him. That's why even though the angriest man was meant to be just a fitness nuisance it turned out to be the closest thing to the sports and fitness challenge Speed wanted to see. He loved it. So whenever Speed thinks of Nigerian fitness or sports, he thinks of the angriest man. This is why we are here. Congratulations to the angriest man. Congratulations to him. I'm sure it's not going to be angry anymore. But hey, before we go, quick look at the story I told you about, hashtag Victor Osimhen. He has been ranked as one of the greatest footballers in the world, is what I can say in a summary. He reached another milestone. Let's quickly take a look at it. Nigeria Stories has it. Thank you. Nigeria Stories says Victor Osimhen has been named among the world's most prolific international goal scorers of the current decade, alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Kylian Mbappe by the International Federation of Football History and Statistics. Lots of reactions to this, but for want of time, I'll be unable to show them to you. But so many Nigerians and fans worldwide are just pouring in the accolades, and it has been rounds of applause after rounds of applause. So we say congratulations to Victor Osimhen. Lots of Nigerians are also saying he's actually flying the kite of the Super Eagles worldwide, and they're thanking him for that. On that note, we wrap it up. This edition of Hashtags, thanks to everyone who has contributed to making the show a success. But the bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. If you liked it, keep a date again with us, same time, same station, for another edition of this show next week. Until then, I am Vivian Uguche, and enjoy your day.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shakes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Mama Kore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, all right, everybody that's shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Blast Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers, whatever, live it. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Ginny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice